Hello everyone, this is Jayne001 and welcome back to a new video. We're going to be doing a VOD review today, and the reason, there's a couple reasons. One, I do VOD reviews and stuff like that, kind of what I like to do, pretty simple, clean and simple. And number two is that this is also part of a challenge. Fun stuff, fun stuff. Basically, the challenge was set up by Jayne with Overwatch. He basically does Twitch streams and YouTube videos and does coaching, stuff like that. And he did do like a challenge of someone to basically go through the Dallas Fuel defense against Philadelphia Fusion quite recently, where they full held them, and basically dissect how it works, because it does look a bit differently. And before we go into this, I do want to actually mention that this comp is actually very similar to a comp that's played by a team called Element Mystic. The funny thing is the comps don't look anything alike, but they function very similar, and it's actually kind of entertaining. But yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about team comps at the moment. So let's talk about Philly's idea, what Philly's doing. So they're doing a double sniper comp. And basically what's good about this is you get the sonar arrow to help out Carpe in winning the Widow v Widow duel, and that's basically what they're doing. They're trying to basically, hopefully they know that Dallas Fuel are going to be running the Brigitte, and so therefore they don't think that they're going to run up against a Hanzo. Probably not. And so they're like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to out-sniper them. And that's what basically Dallas Fuel has been doing the entire match, is they've been out-sniping them because Carpe is alone and stuff like that. And because what happens is it's hard to deal with two snipers because of sight lines, because you want to get stuff done as a sniper, but you also don't want to get killed by people. So what they want to do is they want to win the sniper battle, and this is where things go wrong immediately. And then, of course, they want to create a dive system and all that kind of stuff. Basically, a tank dive, create space, get on the point, have Carpe and EQO just snipe people down, and that's their win con. Let's go ahead into the start here. Okay, I'm going to go to that point. So Dallas Fuel, on the other hand, their win con is they want to hold the choke. And so they have Oj and Mickey to hold the choke. And basically what's going to happen is Oj is going to be the shield, blocking all the damage. He's going to be the proverbial barrier that really only means of him doing it is just to create a wall that has to be walked past. That's all he's doing. Mickey, that and Earthshatter. Earthshatter is the other thing. Mickey, on the other hand, what he's doing is he's doing a couple things. One, he is blocking route paths. So he's blocking paths to Unko and possibly Taimu in some situations. He is blocking those route paths behind Reinhardt, as well as when an engagement happens, he pushes into the choke and pushes back whoever hasn't dived, and basically cutting the entire team. So this is why I'm also saying, I don't think if I have mentioned this yet, but it is working a lot like the old May comp, where you would used to split people with the wall at the choke, and then kill half of the team, and then drop the wall and kill the other half. That's pretty much what they're doing. And if anything gets hairy, we have, of course, Seagull, who is going to have his ult. We're going to have Unko, who has his ult, and Harry, who has his res. And the reason why this all works is because we have Seagull and Harry Hook, who are the high ground people. They're going to be covering the high ground routes. And Seagull's going to basically be flex everywhere. He's everywhere during this match. And basically his job is to cut off routes and to put pressure into certain routes that they're taking and cut them off. He's basically, he's the snip once Philadelphia Fusion realize what's happening, which is pretty quick. And then, of course, you have Harry Hook, who's healing. And if at any point anyone dies at all, Siegel's going to ult, and Harry Hook's going to go and res that person. Or, the other thing is if a dive happens, Siegel ults, and then they have Mickey and Oj go in, kill half the team during all of this, and then the rest of the team gets killed later or whatever. They basically cut them in half and then kill them. First off, going in, we have Oj is going to do a quick shot in. It's not going to get anywhere because Hotba is just going to immediately defense matrix. Not really too big of a deal, but hey, it was a good try. Let's wait this out and watch. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Yeah, I'm good. I'm not gonna turn up the audio. We don't need audio. We don't need no stinking audio. So what is Philly thinking? They're thinking that they're going to immediately just go up. So they're gonna do one of two things, and this is the only two things that they do. Either they run straight up the middle and dive onto the point and make it a point battle, which still isn't that much in their favor, especially if they use mobility to get there. Let's say, like, in theory, they jump over there and Dallas Fuel run back. Basically, all of their stuff is banking on the snipers winning every single fight. That's literally all they're going for. Or they could go up to this high ground and scoot around, which is basically what they're going to try to do all day, every day. But their win con at the moment is killing Taimu. They know Taimu is going to be playing Widow. Okay. So you know how I said Siegel's basically going to be everywhere? There's Siegel and Harry Hook. They're going to be glued together the entire game. And it's kind of hilarious. What's funny is, and there's a couple of reasons. So this is abusing Winston's huge weakness. And this is why I've always said that the only reason why Winston is used in a dive is because his shield is semi-convenient because it has 600 hit points. It doesn't work on some characters. It is semi-convenient, and he is one of two tanks that has mobility. If you basically gave D.Va Winston's bubble, they wouldn't play Winston anymore, really. There's a couple reasons, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's a problem with Winston, and the reason why is because if Winston or Hanzo or Widow try to get into this top corner, they can't move. They've used their mobility to get up there, and Winston can't dive straight through and continue on. He has to jump up and run around, whereas D.Va can just slide through the window and continue on her merry way. Same with Neptuno, pretty quickly with the Mercy. So Siegel, what he's going to do is when they try to do this, he's going to jump up and knock them back. We have Hanzo up there, boom, jumps up, knocks them back, gets a couple of damage done, defense matrix, all that stuff. So now they're pushing back. Next thing they do, so they're going, okay, let's go for Widow. Widow's in the back. Let's take a shot at her. Oh, we missed. And now Widow is gone. We have no sight line on Widow. And now our only option is to see, okay, let's see if we can kill the Zen. Oh, wait, no, we have no sight line on Zen because Widow and Zen are back in this corner. No sight line until you get all the way out here, and that's the bait. Is they want, Dallas Fuel wants Philadelphia Fusion to get in, to actually try to get past the front line, and then they split them and kill them, and that's pretty much what they're doing all day, every day. And then, of course, we have Siegel, who's basically on the low ground now, because no one's on the high ground. He doesn't need to be on the high ground. But we did get a D.Va up on the high ground. Siegel goes up, knocks D.Va off, and so now that's the bait. That's the bait. So, basically, Siegel is basically done as much as he can. There's a lot you're asking of Siegel to constantly push people back, and this is where the first strategy that Philly's thinking, this is where it breaks down. Of what they think Dallas Fuel's trying, They think they just broken the wall, and now they're pushing back. This is how you usually break that like front line defense with the Reinhardt. And so they're cutting around the side, and then Taimu is getting free reign because in order for EQO and Carpe to get into position, they have to get into position. And so Taimu always is at the upper hand, and so then they try to cut around. EQO doesn't engage. Sato's full health and Boombox is full health. Who cares about them? They've taken no damage. None. No one's looked at them. And it's because they were cut in half. They haven't engaged. And now they have to pull back. So I'm going to do like a perspective of what happened here. So we had a little, let's put this in orange because of, so we had our little bow guy here, Hanzo. Hanzo jumps up and immediately tries to shoot down here. Unko is nowhere to be seen, and so he's trying to hit Taimu. He jumps up here. Multiple things happen. You have Seagull's defense matrix and him knocking into you, and then you also have Mickey who's using his shield to block. Then you have Widowmaker. Basically, it's very unfavorable that Hans is going to get anything. Also, we get Carpe that jumps up and is going, I gotta move around so I can get cover because I'm not going to do what EQO's doing. I need to get around to another position to get a different sightline. So he just beats feet straight through. Doesn't do anything, just runs through. Diva defense matrixes and takes them in. Neptuno goes in. And during all of this, they are running with only 3 people and they just die. That's pretty much it. Widow and Zenyatta have free reign. Diva's shooting at them, and Mercy's just healing up. There's no world where they could have won that. And then, of course, Diva was demeched and staggered and had to switch off to get back. Okay, here's another thing. So this is a very complicated form of pressure. So I'm going to actually explain it the best way possible. So I do talk about pressure a lot, and a lot of times people just automatically think of rules in Overwatch. And so what Widowmaker does is she creates a pressure zone of absolute for anyone 250 health and below. And the reason why she creates that pressure zone is because she can kill them in one shot. It's an absolute pressure zone, which means you have a potential of dying instantly. And so what happens is there's a lot of play around with that, and that's why sniper v sniper fights are very fascinating. So at the moment, Taimu is actually creating a pressure zone all through here. And the reason is because when he moves, he can actually change basically his sight line here very quickly. It's kind of diminished, but not too bad because of this grading. So what happens is, let's say someone's behind this wall, he steps to the left just slightly, and you can kill him. You can rotate. It's kind of like a, ooh, I need to draw this real quick. So let's do a top-down view. Hey, perfect. So the wall is right here, and let's say we have 1 slot. I'm just going to say 1 slot. And what's going to happen is, let's say he's trying to shoot someone right here. So he has a sight line. Let's get blue into here. So he has a sight line all the way over to here. That's not a straight line. I know it's not a straight line. He has a sight line all the way over here, but he has a black bar right here. So that's a blind zone. So at the moment, this is a blind spot. If the Hanzo or someone else wants to get a favorable shot, they have to adjust, and when they adjust, this bar doesn't shift that much, because if you actually think of it like a seesaw or a lever arm, so you have this and then this, and what happens is when Taimu steps to the side, this rotates a lot more, so you have a lot more rotation. So like if you have a small wheel and you turn it, it rotates faster because there's less surface area on the outside. So the idea is this distance, it gets you this distance and vice versa. And so what happens is he can get very wide range of actually looking through here, whereas anyone else has issues getting into there. Now on the other side of it as well is, let's say we have the wall right here. So at this distance, and so we need to think of Overwatch differently. Don't think of it in 3D space, think of it in 2D space at the moment. So at the moment, it's this size. So this window is this size with the slots in it and all that stuff. So let's draw the slots real quick. And so what happens is each of these holes take up a certain size of your screen. So you could possibly put your thumb up against the screen or whatever, and basically measure this. You'll have, like, let's say my screen at the moment is about an inch. So I have an inch of viewing room right here, an inch to move my cursor to get a shot. My actual center of the screen, crosshair, whatever, to get the shot. So I have an inch to move within each of these spots. But let's say I'm on the other side. So this is ToUse view. Let's say I'm on the other side, completely switch around. Let's look at it from another angle. Let's say the window from our perspective is this big because we're farther away. Things look smaller from farther away. But what's funny is if you think of it in a 2D space, your shot window is a lot smaller. And so there's two things that happens. One, there's a frame that happens where you know you only need to get a shot in here, but your aiming degree of freedom isn't an inch. It's like a centimeter or even less than that. And so that's when these bars are actually really good cover when you're close to them. It's because your angle adjusts very drastically. See, you can see he can freely move around. He just has to make sure not to click on a bar. Okay, this is strategy 2. So they know that they're not going to jump straight through. And so what they're going to do is they're just going to take and put a bubble up above, and that's going to give Carpe an open, basically, window to get a free shot in on ToUse, and they can get a possible positioning. So they throw the bubble up there, Carpe jumps up and gets pushed back. Whoop-de-doo. And as you can see, ToUse everywhere. So he's on the right, he's on the left, he's rotating around. Carpe just dives in. We have a diva in the back line. I believe we're going to have, so Winston's jumped a point, as you can see. So they've all pushed in. Make the count. Make the count. So we had the tanks jump in. And I believe, we have Zen here. I think, we have Mercy here. No, that's Hanzo, I think. It might be Hanzo or Mercy. But we have 3 in the back line, 3 in the front line. And that's basically what's going to happen. And so, basically, the big issue at the moment is now there's actually progress. So, I knocked something on my desk. Sorry about that. So Philly has done something semi-good, semi-bad. So Sato's beat feet to the point. Congratulations. The best thing that he could have done was just get to the point. That's what they've been trying to do all day long. And he just scooted around the side because Seagull can only control so much. And, of course, the bubble was used in that place. But Diva is all the way over on the other side. And at the moment, as you can tell, the Diva and Winston aren't that synced. And then, of course, Carpe is just trying to beat feet to get a position. That's basically, this is the game in a nutshell. Carpe and EQO trying to get a position. So, again, 3 in the back, 3 in the front. Ryan doesn't care. They don't need to do anything. Mickey's moved to the back to go against the Winston on the point because he has to. Because they're now thinking everyone's going to run. Surprise, not everyone runs. And then basically Seagull and Mercy are stuck against Carpe and EQO because EQO's coming up to this doorway every so often. And then, of course, Diva. And so Seagull, so Element Mystic with in Korea, basically what happens is they play not a baguette, an Arisa. So they'll play an Arisa, like Junkrat, other stuff, Widowmaker, basically anyone that does good damage. So the main core is someone who does damage, an Arisa, then you have a Diva and a Mercy, which is very similar to my Two Lanterns comp at the moment, but has a little bit off. Basically what happens is if anyone dies, especially the Arisa, the Diva ults, and it gives Mercy the space because everyone can't peek, because then they would get killed. So the Mercy goes and gets a res. And so basically that's the big issue, is Mercy goes in, gets a res, and then now everything's reset. And so Dallas is doing a couple things. One, they're doing that. They're using the Diva to get a res on this. They don't actually do that, but that's an intention. As you can probably tell, it's a very good intention. But what they're doing is now he's ulted because of two things. One, he did get demeched, and two, he also was in the center on the high ground. And now the team split even more. Mickey doesn't need to be on the front line to push people back. All he needs to be is in the back line, because the Diva Bomb just did his job for him. And now everyone gets cleaned up. That's basically it. Is Seagull got remeched, flew around, Widow got some shots in, Zen got some shots in, and that's pretty much it. You can see. The Mercy kill, completely unintentional. They had no intentions of getting a kill. A kill was a consolation prize, which is basically every single one. Now we're going into... So, what is Philly's new plan? Their new plan is, wow, I'm Carpe, and I'm playing Widow, and I'm basically spending the entire game trying to get into position when everyone dies. What I need to do is I need to get into positions better than having a French woman run around. EQO is doing the same exact thing. So now we're just going full on dive. We're going to get to the point. We're going to get kills. We're going to try to ignore the baguette. So now they're at the choke doing I don't know what. Fun fact, and people always forget this, is that dive doesn't do well in poke battles when a real shield is involved. That's better than Winston's shield. It's basically because you just don't. Usually there's more damage output and shield damage that's going out from the team with the Reinhardt shield, that it just doesn't happen most of the time. As you can see, we're just rinse and repeat, going in, pushing people back. They're just dancing around. Winston dives in, and so Diva could have knocked him back, didn't need to. Carpe's running in. They're just trying to kill the Mercy and whittling down Seagull. Seagull has his ult back again. And so now their idea, and of course, Mercy just flew away right over to the baguette. And so now they're actually getting into space because they are trying to overwhelm the side with Seagull and Mercy, which makes sense. But now everything's just going up. You can see Unko had to use his ult or else he would have died. And now you can see what I've been talking about of Mickey's job. He has pushed back 3 of the other team. Pushed him back. And now he's going back to help contest the point. Good for him. And because he's not there, Oj is forced to use the Earth Shatter to split the team. And as you can see, we get the res off of EQO. They're going around trying to take out Taimu, and it's just not happening. Harry Hook's pulling up his other card besides res, where he's actually just ulting, and basically what's happening is when they're trying to kill Taimu, they just can't. And of course, during all this, and this is a big thing that I keep forgetting, is this comp works with or without the armor. The armor is just cherry on the top. Pretty much it's the cherry on the top. So what happens is now everyone has armor. They don't die as quickly. And so you just have this free use. They're going for the Zen. And during all this time, it is... So right then where everything's jumped up, we had these two were in the front line. And then these two were stuck in the back. Boombox had to ult to get these guys in. And he had to. Or else they would have been back, these two would have died, and they would have had to pull back. Technically, that would have been the better option. So he ults to get these guys to not die from Oj's Earth Shatter. And so basically, they push in a little bit late and then just get cleaned up on entry because they're entering a fight that has already been lost. They lose the fight on entry. Any one of them enter, not at the same time, they lose. And of course, now they're just stalling, and now they're just trying to get out, and then this is why they're playing Taimu, is to get the exit kills, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. EQO actually did a pretty good job, but the problem was that he died as things started getting good, and that's pretty much what's happening, is they're dying when things start getting good. So let's see this. Osha's going to Winston just because he wanted to get back early. He thought they were going to lose a point, which is okay. It doesn't really matter at this point because now that they're playing a dive that's actually getting into Seagull, what they need to do is they need to play counter dive. And that's what's now being flipped over. And of course, Mickey just goes Mickey. Okay, this is huge. This is a huge part. This is where you can actually completely tell why people are playing Baguette or Brigitte even in dive comps. As you can see, now we've split the team again because Mickey has pushed they pushed all the supports back and all the tanks are stuck on the point. And that's pretty much it. They just create that space and cut the team in half and then have the Widow, Diva, and Zenyatta kill everyone in the back line while the people in the front line are being distracted. And that's pretty much it. Ways to improve it. I personally like the Orisa because of, and it sounds weird, I do like the Orisa because she does not get countered by Baguette really at all. She does good damage output. Halt pulls her together, and you can actually use Halt to keep that team back, whereas Reinhardt, all he has is a shield. And then, of course, really the only reason why you're running the Reinhardt is just for that Earth Shatter and the wall. Everything else is just kind of like I don't even think he used much abilities either. But yeah, that's the main idea there, is just getting that stuff to happen. And so to improve, yeah, the Orisa, and I do have an Orisa guide that actually does make her a lot better, and people don't play her like I actually play her. And if you actually, basically, if you don't want to watch the video, at all that I did on Orisa, basically to make her better is your shield does not have to go in front of you. Fun fact. It doesn't have to go directly in front of you at all. It can go any distance away from you, and it can go in any position, which basically means, because a big counter to Orisa, everyone knows, is to get behind her shield. And what happens if you get behind her and behind her shield? Well, she has a problem putting down her shield because people are dancing around her, and she dies. But here's the other side. If she's far back, throws her shield out front, very far away from her, then as the team's trying to get behind the shield, they get behind the shield, and another shield gets placed down, and now they're stuck because they just use their movement abilities to get past the first shield, and now they're dead. So that's where I think you could get some more improvements, but just having the body on the front, you could say Reinhardt could, you could be losing something without Reinhardt. I just like the Orisa because the Halt would work pretty nice, and of course, the extra armor is really nice on the Orisa with Baguette. And then, of course, the extra damage with her ult is really not looked into that often, which is not too bad. For countering, they they spent too much time trying to kill the backline. Whereas they needed to do a lot more CC, knock people back, make more doorways. Junkrat would have been great. Just shoot through that doorway and just create space, because what's happening is you then create pressure of bombs towards the diva, and then you can get through. You don't have to worry about all that other stuff. That's an option. One thing that I'm surprised didn't happen was the Winston jump, where you actually jump to the right and onto the building, and then you kind of just glide there, and then you continue your jump once it's past cooldown. That would have been nice. If they actually tried to go through the right direction, that would have been nice. If they weren't playing dive, that would have been nice. That was basically what was happening. It was a dive bait. It was an anti-dive, because they would get split when they dove. The best way to not get split when you dive and or dove is to not at all. It's pretty nice. So I would say, Fair's really good too. I would say Fair would have been good. Junkrat would have been good. I'm surprised we're not seeing a lot more Fair at Junkrat, just because you get a lot more CC damage. And then, of course, running a Baguette of your own. But I don't think Philly wanted to toe-to-toe Baguette, which you don't have to that much. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. And then, of course, I just want to show real quick Dallas Fuel's first attack. So let's show Dallas Fuel's first attack real quick. And then we'll continue on. How long has this been? Let me check. OBS. How long? Okay. So it's the same comp on attack. Basically what they're trying to do is, and basically it's a Lucio. They're on the high ground with a Baguette. They just run to the point. And that's it. That's literally it. It's so stupid, because you have so much sustain in that comp that it doesn't matter. You just run to the point. And congratulations. And now they're on the defensive. If you saw like Philly run something like that and just run past them, yeah, you can do that. You just need to do it with your entire team, or else you split. They were getting split too often, and they needed to figure out better ways to not get split. And so ways you can do that is, of course, you can also have a May wall. I really like the May wall. The other thing is once you get to the point where you start losing hope in getting the point, when you're just getting held and you can't really get anything done, Sombra is a really good backup plan, because not a lot of people expect it to just suddenly happen. And then, of course, you get hacks. You could hack the Diva and then split the team, because it's a very spread out comp that Dallas Fuel run on defense. Is they have a split comp of their own. Kind of very much like 2 stage comps, which is very much like my 2 lanterns comp, kind of funny. But like if they singled out the Diva and Mercy, just killed them. Ta-da. Congratulations. I think overall, Sato and Hotba needs to work on their coordination, because the only time they actually coordinated any dive was towards the Zenyatta near the end, and that was pretty much it. EQO got completely destroyed at that last push, because he basically Dragon Bladed alone. No one helped him. Yeah, so they dove the front line, got nowhere. Yeah, even if Dragon Blade came in, nothing would have happened. If Mickey didn't kill EQO, yeah, because now armor's going out. If Mickey didn't kill EQO and EQO survived, let's say EQO started actually doing damage. Number 1, Mercy ran away. Mercy just ran away, and he had no way to get away. It was just too easy. Too easy for him, because even if EQO had Dragon Blade, I don't even think he could have killed through Baguette's ult, the rally. Because technically, if it builds up enough, you can't do damage. You can't kill through it. It's almost like a defensive ult then. So it's actually very interesting. Please tell me if you have any other questions. I do take all questions down in the comment section. Some other things, yeah. So, of course, like, subscribe. If you do actually want me to do anything like this later, I'm doing this for just for fun at the moment, and also doing it for the Jayne Overwatch stuff. Um, the Jayne reviews, yeah, it's Jayne reviews, I believe, completely. But yeah, doing it for that, and of course for fun as well. So if you want me to check out anything else, I can also do that. If anyone wants actually VOD reviews for me to do as well, you can actually just send a link to me or whatever through the comments. I think it will be okay. But I'm trying to get a Discord together to do that as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Remember, as always, arrivederci, sayonara, and have a nice day. Bye.